Welcome to my astrology channel. The real Joe's astrology. There's another Joe out there. Don't get it confused. This is Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston, I looked at her chart a little while ago. Let's take a look again. She's in the news. She's got a new boyfriend. She's a sun in Aquarius, a moon in Sagittarius, and Libra rising. And she's got a new boyfriend. And I probably talked about this before. Libra rising, ruled by Venus. So we're going to take a look at that. But these two, actually three. If we look at these three, the Libra rising, the Sun in Aquarius, and the Moon in Sagittarius. So we have some air. We have the Libra, the relationship themed rising sign. We have the Aquarius, the social, accepting of all people, maybe a little bit unique or weird life. And we have the Seeker, the seeker, the traveler, the learner, the person that kind of like Gemini, the opposite, gets around. And you put all those together and you get Jennifer Aniston. And it's no surprise that she would live a life with multiple relationships. So if anyone out there has some of these placements, you can see that there really is no right or wrong. And this is a life. This is a life that people with Libra rising or these placements in general often have to live. And maybe we can get into some of the reasons why. Speaking of the why, we can see she's a Pluto in the 11th. Pluto there retrograde in the 11th in Virgo. So we can forget about the Virgo part and let's just focus on the Pluto in the 11th and its retrograde. So because it's retrograde, it's really pointing towards we could say loosely that it's pointing towards a Uranian life, because when Pluto's retrograde, it's really emphasizing that need for change and changes in the life. And we also see Uranus is loosely conjunct that Pluto within a 10-degree orb. And with Pluto in the 11th, this is at a deep level. This is an Aquarian type person. So whether she likes it or not, the life will look, and with that sun there as well, it's also making it exact aspect. So whether she likes it or not, it will be an Aquarian themed life. And we see that because Aquarius, in regards to relationships, believe it or not, multiple relationships in the life, not being married to one person, is a very much an Aquarian theme regarding relationships. So there's that. We can continue to look at these air signs here. She has Jupiter and Uranus conjunct in Libra, the air sign. And that's also making a trine to Mercury in an air sign. I have Jupiter and Uranus in Sagittarius, and often gravitate to people who have this aspect or have aspects between Jupiter and Uranus. But you see that trine between Mercury and Jupiter, Uranus, in air signs. This is a person that's going to definitely get around. Let's see if there's any transits. We're talking about her getting a new boyfriend. I believe that the day that this article that I found came out, the moon is transiting that Venus within a few degrees. So there's that. we see Neptune. Neptune and Saturn is hanging around this north node there, and by transit. So let's take a look and see if how old this guy is. With that being said, see if there's any other transits here. Pluto is hanging around this 0 degree Mercury. So definitely big changes for Jennifer Aniston that might come along with this relationship. So he's younger. He is younger, but he's a health guru. Look at that. North node in the 6th. In Jennifer Aniston's chart, North node in the 6th, and she gets together with a health guru, health being a common theme of the 6th house. You can see the North node where her life is headed. She has Venus there. We're talking about the love life. The North node here, she runs into a health guru. So even if we go back and look at some of the other relationships, obviously there was the big one with Brad Pitt. We're talking about work relationships through work. And the 6th house is, also has a common theme of work. But now that it's not through work, it's a health guru. There with the North node, where she's headed, the South node where she's coming from. South node is also in Libra, and we see Uranus there. So definitely not afraid to date outside of her age range. I think there might be a 6 or 7 year age difference here. More emphasis on relationships there. Obviously someone who thinks differently in regards to these things. But back to this North node. It's ruled by Mars. It's in Scorpio in the 2nd house. That has to do with food, nourishment, self-care. And what is it conjunct? It's conjunct Neptune, the planet that rules Pisces in the 12th house, the opposite of Virgo. Again, we're talking about health. The ruler of this sign is connected to a planet that's associated with health. Not just that, but the health guru. They call him a guru. And Neptune would be the planet that is associated with gurus, along with Jupiter. I would say Neptune more so, though. So this guy might be a spiritual guy. This might be very spiritually nourishing masculinity, Mars, for Jennifer Aniston. All while Saturn and Neptune, more spiritual masculinity emphasis transiting the north node there. So back to this Pluto. She does have Pluto in the 11th, which means the opposition's in the 5th. We're talking about evolutionary astrology. There is a emphasis on moving into the 5th house of romance. And what does she have on the 5th house cusp but Pisces, ruled by Neptune? So definitely an emphasis you can see here of having at the very least a romantic encounter with a guru. Now previously I mentioned Brad Pitt. How does Brad Pitt fit into that? Well, Brad Pitt is an actor, and actors and actresses and movies and film are often associated with again the 5th house, Leo, and Pisces, Neptune, particularly Neptune. So So there's that emphasis to move into the fifth, and for her, and you can really see this when you look at a chart like this. For her, that is a health. This is a very health thing. Moving into the fifth, having this romantic encounter moves her into her north node. The opposition we're looking at moving into the north node. The having this romantic encounter with this dream situation for her is really going to bring her into fantasy land. That's really healthy for her with the north node in the sixth, and the Mars conjunct Neptune we see there. Neptune can really be a symbol of health in these cases where you find yourself really getting that experience of fantasy, living that wandering life, at least for a time, where we could just call it loosely the falling in love. It can be very healthy for a person. And then we see her south node. Her south node there is in Libra in the 12th. So we see maybe some of that, the 12th house can be seen as being unhealthy as well, where this idea of, with Uranus there, this idea of having trauma, relationship trauma, Libra, really that has to do with Jupiter, lack of understanding, maybe arguments over philosophies and things like that. This is where she's coming from. Perhaps trying to heal that through these new relationships later in life. So I have to see where this one goes. She does have the moon squaring the nodes, and it's really in Sagittarius, kind of moving into the third there, really possibly trying to balance out her emotional life through learning about herself, learning about these relationships here, these past relationships. And wow, I mean, looking at with this guru, maybe or maybe just finding the right person who's on the same page with their belief systems. Maybe who has an unusual belief system or unusual way of thinking. Maybe that's where the problems lied in the past. She was more advanced in her philosophies, and the other person was maybe, I shouldn't say advanced, but more modern, and the other person was more traditional. The other relationships. So we're starting to put the pieces together, and we can really see the purpose for Jennifer Aniston's life events. So I hope you enjoy this one. Thanks for watching if you're still with me, and have a great day.